Kingdom of Bhutan is commonly referred to as the last Shangri-La and is probably the world's best kept secret. It is an eco-paradise. It was known for a long time as the land of sacred medicine. Most people don't even know where Bhutan is. It's a tiny little country landlocked in the middle of the Himalayas, sandwiched between China and India. It is the only Buddhist country in the world, and it is a cultural repository of very mindful and human art practices. Things became really all-encompassing, and I found myself basically not existing anymore. I realized the sense of I is not I is just what you're doing. And I wanted to be more and more useful, and more useful, and love sharing and all that. And I think that this nature was what I tapped into in the others, because they were revealing that too. So the society is built a bit on offerings. You know, people do what they want. They don't have an agenda and say, oh, well, this is the menu. It's going to cost that much. A lot of it is how you relate. It's all built on relationships. So eventually, it was presented to me to do this film, Jeremy. And I wanted to help as much as I could. I love the story. Dancing on the World is a coming-of-age story set in this eco-paradise. Two boys involved in a bit of a triangle. They're sort of at their last years of high school, secondary, just pre-college, and one of them's been there too long, and that's Jeremy. And his one of his other students, they're rivals for the attention of this girl, and she kind of stirs up a bit of trouble. So during that whole process, Jeremy is a bully, and he pushes people around and basically pretty angry at everything and grasping for a lot of things that aren't there. So as a result of his bullying, his older brother gets killed. Following a killing, they go their separate ways. They run away from the crime. One has to go to a very small village and find himself in agricultural simplicity, and the other one follows up in a monastery. The story is very touching in a Frank Capra kind of way. There's also tension in the story, though. It's not just a feel-good movie. It's a lot like, there's a Rosemary Baby kind of intensity to it. Two boys, they run away from a crime in the Kingdom of Bhutan. They go their separate ways. They think they're running far away from each other, but in effect, they actually run away to the same remote village without realizing it. We think they're going to bump into each other, but they don't really. That tension is something that will kindle the fear in us that we feel that it might revert back to their old animosities. I don't want to give away too much of the ending, but it really has a poetry to it that will satisfy even the most jaded viewers. He's forced to face the conditions of himself and his own karma and his own happiness or his lack of it. You got to be responsible for your own happiness, and that we have all the levers, that we're all magical in that way, that we have the power to change our reality. And this is the underlying message of everything, is that life is only the love you share, and you have to treat every moment as precious, and everything is precious. It's not a matter of saying, oh, what am I doing, and analyzing it all. It's about dancing. It's truly about dancing and being appropriate for the moment. Dancing on the World is a youth movie. It's a music movie. Music plays a large role, similar to the way Dr. Zhivago's music score played a large role in that. It touches you. It has a surprise ending. My first read, I was crying while I read it. I've never read a script that made me cry before. The characters are all compelling. It came to us from the Kingdom of Bhutan. They asked us to help realize the project in a proper and professional way. This we're doing. We put together a very excellent team. It's not an allegorical film. It's set in present-day Bhutan, and we felt that the best way to present the project was in the context of a touring exhibition, similar to a Cirque du Soleil show, but centered around a film and a IMAX. We were very lucky that IMAX has developed a mobile screen, and we hope to be one of the first to really showcase the screen and the technology to the world. We can't think of a better project to have as a touring exhibition. The country is so rich in culture and details that there is an endless supply of information, content. There's a wealth of love and intention that's so useful for the world and very profoundly wise. They have basically a wisdom-based culture as opposed to a consumer and information-based culture. We're looking forward to working with the kingdom. The project came to us, so we're helping facilitate it for them. We're very thrilled to be working with IMAX and discussing this project with IMAX. Bhutan has been a Galapagos island of wisdom and alternate thinking, and they're now coming into their own with the new technology, and the young king is so refreshing to the global arena. The young queen, she's so beautiful. What a lovely couple, so wise. And so discriminating, because wisdom is knowing what to let go of, what you don't have to be attached to. Wisdom is knowing what you have to pursue, what you have to put your heart into. We can become what we need to be to solve this problem. And I think all of us are moving towards a world that will be much more responsible and much more loving and much more suitable for the amount of humanity that we've got on this planet. We have to develop and cultivate a sustainable humanity, and Dancing on the World and the Kingdom of Bhutan touring exhibition will help in a very profound manner of setting an example. Bhutan is an example. It has developed, and it can illustrate a working model that we can refer to help inspire the world. In order to cultivate a better humanity and in order to cultivate a sustainable humanity, education has to shape us. Art shapes our education. We're surrounded by art. Art is the biggest influence. Media is underappreciated as a moral force, not as a moral force so much as just a human force. If we want to sustain ourselves as a society, we're going to have to get smarter, and we're going to have to use our most skillful means to do this. And this is one of those moments. It's one of those moments since people want to know that wisdom and humanity can conquer. Nothing's haphazard. It's not an idle chit-chat. But it's really that exciting. I've never had the experience of knowing that something's going to be as great as this. It's a timely subject. It's total counterpoint to all the anxiety and hatred and aggression that's out there. It's got a soul. It's bigger than all of us. We couldn't stop this if we wanted to. It's wow. To be able to do this in an IMAX context with a traveling Cirque du Soleil style show is overwhelmingly amazing for the entire world. The subject is so broad and so drill downable. There's so much content that we can use now with technology the way it is, with the mobile apps, and the fact that IMAX is coming out with this laser technology and more tangible kind of access to its products. The cost of production versus upside when you combine a feature film, an IMAX, a traveling show, embedded content, TV series content, printed matter, in something that's going to have a great shelf life. This stuff never grows stale. I mean, people didn't know what was going to happen with It's a Wonderful Life. Everybody was saying, oh, that's not going to fly, that's not going to fly. And look, it's some of the best legs ever. I mean, I think it's going to stand up in another 50 years. From an artist's point of view, I just want to be useful. You guys are the best guys. The team is amazing. People in Bhutan are beautiful. Backdrop is gorgeous. Story is great. Let's nail this. Let's just smash this out of the park. I think the combination of technology being where it's at right now and mobile apps being a very viable delivery system for a lot of the embedded content, plus a great feature film that's going to be a media darling, like big time. We're so blessed. If this experience wasn't happening to me, I wouldn't believe it. I couldn't dream of doing it with any better a team. IMAX, you're the guys. I mean, we've been waiting for you. This is perfect.